Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Good afternoon, Nandini. All right, I hope there are no issues with audio and video. Okay, so we are continuing with the UPSC CSE CSAT series, which is very important since this is a compulsory paper. CSAT, you have to score 33% of marks in order to qualify for, paper one. Okay, otherwise it doesn't matter how much you score in paper one, you are out anyway. So CSAT paper has been getting slightly difficult over the years, according to aspirants, but it's not actually that difficult. Okay, once you know the fundamentals on how to do these questions, it's really very easy. The English part takes some time. You have to read the whole passage and also it might take some time. So mathematics is the portion where you can actually save a lot of time and so that you can use that judiciously in English. So if you can have a very thorough understanding in mathematics, then that itself can get you, across the line. Got it? So our objective is to make sure that you have that understanding. Every day we are doing only 10 questions related to different topics. At the end of it, I can give you more questions for practice, or even otherwise simply download some previous question papers and try to solve the questions that come from the area that I have taught you every day. Okay. So today we are doing a very important section, very important section, time and work. This section is, present in literally every question paper of say CSAT or SSC, other exams like, PSC, RRB, RPI, Bank PO, IBPS. All right, you might not see a single question paper that does not have a question from time and work in the quantitative aptitude section. Clear? So this is a very important section. So please be very alert. If you have any queries or doubts, please feel free to put it in the live chat. After completing each question, I will look into it. To the newcomers to my channel, welcome to Madhav Sankar classes. To the existing students, welcome back. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. All right. So without any further ado, let's begin today's session and CSAT time and work. Okay. So basically in this session, we are doing only, we have to have only very minimal number of formulas. There is nothing too much to understand here. The rest is based on the question. How well you can understand the question, how well you can, get into that thought process. This is all you need to know to do questions in this chapter. If A can do a piece of work in n days, then A's 1 day's work is actually written by 1 by n. Okay, so suppose A can do a piece of work in 10 days. Then A's 1 day work will be 1 by 10. Correct. So, 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10, similarly up to 10 times. If you add it, you will get 1. That is the full work. 10 by 10. That is full work. So, if it take 10 days for A to complete a piece of work, then 1 day's work for A is 1 by 10 or 1 by n. That is what you have to understand. So, the reciprocal or corollary would be, if A's 1 day's work is 1 by n, then A can finish the work in n days. Correct? Think about it once again. If A's 1 day work is 1 by 8, then 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus etc. If we write this 8 times, then it will be 8 by 8 is equal to 1, the full work. So it takes him 8 days. Correct? 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus, similarly 8 times 1 by 8 together makes 1. So if A's 1 day's work is 1 by n, then A can finish the work in n days. Okay, so these two are actually reciprocal to each other. Now, if A is thrice as good a workman as B, then ratio of work done by A and B is 3:1. Okay, A is 3 times as good as B in the work. So A does, when B does 1 unit of work, A can complete 3 units of work. Understood? That is what is meant by A is thrice as good as B. So A is 3 times better than B. So when B does 1 unit of work, A can do 3 units of work in the same time. Clear? So the ratio of work done by A and B will be 3:1. But ratio of times taken by A and B will be 1:3. It will reverse. Think about it. A can do a piece of, say, if we are talking about 1 hour, okay, B can do 1 unit of work in 1 hour. A can do 3 units of work in 1 hour. So in terms of work, it is A is to B is 3:1. But in terms of time, it is 1:3. A is 3 times as efficient. Correct? So it takes only 1/3 of the time taken by B for A to complete a piece, that equivalent amount of work. That is why the ratio reverses. It is 1:3 for time and 3:1 for work. So work and time ratio will always be reciprocals to each other. Get it? So this is the thing that, basic things that you have to understand in order to do questions on this chapter. That's it. This understanding is more than enough for you to do all the questions that are going to come up. So let's start doing one by one questions. If at any point of time you do not understand something, please feel free to ask in the chat. If you want to do this yourself, you can ask me to give you some time. Otherwise, I will be going through them one by one. And to the viewers who will be watching this video later, we are going to do the first question. So after each time I read a question, if you want to try it out yourself, please feel free to pause the video, do it, and then watch the rest of it to get the correct answer and explanation. Okay, so let's do. First question for the day. Worker A takes 8 hours to do a job. Worker B takes 10 hours to do a same job. How long should it take both A and B working together but independently to do the same job? So A takes 8 hours to do that job. B takes 10 hours to do that job. If they do the job together, how long would it take? That is the question. Correct. So if two of them collaborate together, then obviously the number of days will be less. It will come down. Correct. So we have to identify which of the options is correct. So I will write down all the steps so that later on you can revise using it. A's 1 hour work is equal to 1/8. Correct. Worker A takes 8 hours to do a job. So his 1 hour work is 1/8. Similarly, B's 1 hour work is equal to 1/10. Okay, worker B takes 10 hours to do the same job. So in 1 hour, B completes 1/10 of the entire work. Now, together, when they collaborate, what happens? A plus B's 1 hour work is what? Simply add them together. 1/8 plus 1/10. If they are working together, this is the work done in 1 hour. And this is equal to how much? LCM is 40. So 40 divided by 8, 5 into 1 is 5. Plus 40 divided by 10, 4 into 1 is 4. Is equal to 9/40. So 9/40 is the work done by A and B in 1 hour when they work together. Correct? So what is this in days? A and B will finish the work in how much time? The reciprocal. Correct. Look at the first slide again. If A's 1 day's work is 1/n, then A can finish the work in n days. So here A plus B's 1 hour work is 9/40. So A and B together will finish the work in 40/9 hours. This is equal to 40 divided by 9 is 436 and remaining 4/9. So correct answer is option A. Understood? Identify the work of A and B in 1 hour. Then together in 1 hour, how much they will accomplish. So reciprocal of that will give you the number of hours that they would take to complete the whole work together. Very simple now. I hope you understood. If at any, again, I'm repeating, if at any point of time you did not understand something, ask me. I am very happy to explain it over and over again. Okay. Second question. A can do a piece of work in 7 days and 9 hours. B can do it in 6 days and 7 hours. How long will they take to do it working together 8 and 2 by 5 hours per day? Okay, so same question, except that here it is given in days and hours. In the previous one, it was given only in hours, so only one unit. Here it is days and hours. Also, it is not asking some random or the number of days it would take to complete. It specifically says that if they work together for 8 and 2 by 5 hours per day, then how many days will it take to complete the whole work? That is the question. Actually, this is very simple. So what to do? First of all, convert all into same units. Okay, instead of writing as 7 days of 9 hours each, write it as 63 hours. Okay, 1 day 9 hours, so 7 days 63 hours. So convert the whole thing into 1 unit. Clear? So let's begin. A can complete, one second. First question, hours, okay. Worker A takes 8 hours, B takes to a job. How long would it take A and B working together independently to do the same job? It's not days, it's hours. Okay, correct, Nandini. Very well pointed out. Okay, the answer given here, the unit is given in days. It should have been hours. Good observation. Very good. Okay. Now, coming back to the second question. A can do a piece of work in 7 days of 9 hours each. So A can complete work in 7 into 9 is equal to 63 hours. Correct? 7 days, 9 hours each. So 7 into 9, 63 hours total would it take for A to complete that piece of work. Similarly, B can complete the work in how much time? 6 days of 7 hours each. That is 42 hours. Correct? So from this one, A's 1 day work is how much? Reciprocal. That is 1 by 63. Correct? A can complete a piece of work in 63 hours. Therefore, A's 1 day's work is 1 hour's work. Sorry, again, 1 hour's work is 1 by 63. Similarly, B can complete work in 6 into 7, 42 hours. Therefore, B's 1 hour's work would be 1 by 42. The reciprocal. Alright, now together A plus B, 1 hour work. How much is this? 1 by 63 plus 1 by 42 is equal to how much? 63 and 42, what is LCM? HCF is 21. So 21, 42, 84, 63, 84, 126. Correct? 126. Both goes in 126. So 126 divided by 63 is 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 by 126. So A plus B's 1 hour's work is 5 by 126. Correct? Therefore, both will together finish work in how much time? 126 by 5 hours. Correct? But that is not the question. Question is, how long will they take to do it? Working together 8 and 2 by 5 hours a day. That is specified. So one day they will work only for 8 and 2 by 5 hours. This is the total number of hours that they would take to complete the work. So if they would take 8 and 2 by 5 hours per day, then how much time will it take to, how much days will it take to complete the work? Divide the total time by the hours that they would work every day. So it is 126 divided by 5 divided by 8 and 2 by 5. Correct? This is equal to 126 divided by 5 and 8 into 5, 40 divided by 42 by 5, that is into 5 by 42. Okay, you know the division, it is 1 into multiplication. Okay, so this is 3 days. Correct? I hope you understood. So correct answer is option C. If similar problems are given where the units are different, convert the entire thing into a single unit, whatever it is. Either do it in hours or do it in days. Once you convert the entire thing into one single unit, then simply follow the procedure. Okay, find the amount of work A does in 1 day. Similarly, B does in 1 day. So together, if they work, how much work will be accomplished in 1 day? And then find the number of days it would take them to finish the work. And in these kinds of questions where the amount of work done in a single day is given, divide it by that to get the final answer. All right, let's move on. Another question based on the third thing that we have studied today. Look at what I hope you remember. If A is thrice as good a workman as B, then ratio of work done by A and B is 3:1. And the time ratio would be 1:3. Correct? So that is what we are going to apply here. A is twice as good a workman as B. And together they can finish a piece of work in 18 days. In how many days will A alone finish the work? That is the question. So A is twice as good a workman as B. What does that mean? It means A can finish a piece of work in half the time B does the same work. Correct? Because A is twice as good. So A takes half the time. Correct? Now, let's start. A's, 1 second. Okay, so A's 1 day work is 2. B's 1 day's work is equal to how much? 2:1, because A is twice better than B. Correct. Now, A and B together can finish work in 18 days. So A plus B's 1 day work. How much is this? They together finish the work in 18 days. So their 1 day's work is 1 by 18. Correct? Now, we have to divide this in the ratio 2:1. Okay, so this is their 1 day's work. How much of this is done by A and how much of this is done by B? So their work ratio is 2:1. So we have to divide this into 3 parts. 2 plus 1, 3 parts. 2 parts of work is done by A and the remaining part is done by B. Okay, so how do you divide 1 by 18 into 3 parts? Divide it by 3, that's all. Correct. So, or we can skip that step and write A's 1 day's work is equal to 2 out of 3 parts of 1 by 18. Correct? And this is equal to 1 by 27. Okay, 2 and 18 cancels to 9 and 1 by 27. Therefore, what is B's 1 day's work? B's 1 day's work is how much? Do we need that actually? No, it doesn't matter how much it is. We do not even need that because the question is asking in how many days will A alone finish the work. So A's 1 day's work is 1 by 27. Therefore, A alone can finish the work in the reciprocal of that, that is 27 days. Okay, we do not even have to look into what is, it's not necessary. What is B's 1 day's work? Okay, did you understand how I splitted it? When, the amount of time is given together for 2 or 3 people, then based on their efficiency, based on the ratio of their work, you can actually split it. Okay, so here it was said that it takes A and B together does a piece of work in 18 days. So in 1 hour, they do 1 by 18. One day they would do 1 by 18th of that work. And A is twice as good as B. So 2 parts of this is done by A and 1 part of it is done by B. So divide 1 by 18 into 3 parts, 2 of which is done by A, 1 by 8, 3 is done by B. That is how you solve this question. All right, moving on. Another interesting question. A can do a piece of work in 80 days. All right. He works at it for 10 days and then B alone finishes the remaining work in 42 days. In how much time will A and B working together finish the work? Okay, so A can do a piece of work in 80 days. He worked for 10 days and left. B came in and he worked for 42 days to finish the work. So how much time does it take if they both worked together? That is the question. Clear? So as usual, we will start with work done by A, work done by B, and such things. Okay, so work done by A in 10 days. That is how long A worked, correct? A can do a piece of work in 80 days, but he worked only for 10 days and then he left. So the work done by A in 10 days is what? Work done by A in 1 day, that is 1 by 80 into 10 days. So this is equal to 1 by 8. Did you understand? Since A can do a piece of work in 80 days, A's 1 day work is 1 by 80. So A's 10 day work will be 1 by 80 into 10. So that is 1 by 8. Got it? So 1 by 8 of the work has been completed. So what is remaining? How much work is remaining? So remaining work is equal to 1 minus 1 by 8 is equal to 7 by 8. Correct? Full work is 8 by 8 or 1. Correct? So 1 by 8 of the work has been completed. So what is remaining? 1 minus 1 by 8. That is 7 by 8. So 7 by 8 work is remaining. And this work, 7 by 8 work, is done by B in how many days? 42 days. Question says that B alone finishes the remaining work in 42 days. So this is the remaining work, 7 by 8. And this work has been done by B in 42 days. Got it? Therefore, the whole work will be done by B in how many days? How many days? It is 42 into 8 by 7. Instead of 7 by 8, multiply by the reciprocal. So into 42 into 8 by 7, and this is equal to 48 days. Did you understand this? I'm pretty sure at least some of you did not understand how I multiplied it like that, 42 into 8 by 7. If you do not get it in your brain, you can do this another way. Think about it. 7 by 8 of the work is done by B in 42 days, correct? So 1 by 8 of the work is done by B in how many days? Divide both by 7. Okay, so 7 by 8 work done by B in 42 days. So 1 by 8 work is done in, here I divided by 7. So here also divide by 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6. Correct. So 1 by 8 of the work is done by B in 6 days. So the full work is done by 6 into 8. That is 48 days. Got it? That is another way in which you can arrive. Or you can simply multiply it by the reciprocal. That is the easiest way. But not everybody will get that. Not everyone can digest that easily. That is why I told you the other way. Alright, but anyway, the whole work will be done by B in 48 days. The question is not asking that. Question is asking, in how much time will A and B working together finish the work? So, as usual, we find A's 1 day's work. A's 1 day's work is how much? 1 by 80. Correct. In the given question, it's there. A can do a piece of work in 80 days. So A's 1 day's work is 1 by 8. B's 1 day's work is how much? B finishes the work in 48 days. So B's 1 day's work is 1 by 48. So together A plus B's 1 day work. This is the question, is equal to how much? 1 by 80 plus 1 by 48. And this is equal to, what is the LCM? 80, 160, no. 240, yeah, 240 is the LCM. Okay, so 240 divided by 8 is 4 and plus 48 is 5. I know, wait. 3 and 5. So this is equal to 8 divided by 240, correct? So this is, again, we can cancel out 8 and 240 and reduce this to 1 by 30. Okay, so this means what? They will finish the work in 30 days. A plus B's 1 day's work is 1 by 30. So they will finish the work in 30 days. So the answer is option C. Okay, I hope you understood that. Next question. A and B working separately can do a piece of work in 9 and 12 days respectively. They are not working together, they are working separately. Okay, and they can finish the work in 9 days. So A can finish the work in 9 days and B can finish the work in 12 days. If they work for a day alternatively, A beginning, in how many days will the work be completed? That is the question. So one day A will work. The next day A won't be there, B will be working. The next day again A comes back and he will work. The next day B comes back and B will work. So alternatively they are switching. Clear? So if it alternates like that, how much time or how many days will it take for them to complete the work? That is the question. Okay, so we cannot say A and B are working together. That doesn't work. Okay, we can't say A plus B is 1 day's work. That doesn't work here. Why? Because on a given day, only one of them will work. Correct. But still, we can group them. How? If you know that trick, you can solve this question. This is how you do it. A plus B's 2 days work. That's it. This is the trick. Is equal to A's work plus B's work is equal to 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 by 36. Okay, we can do this. Why? Because A works on the first day, second day A does not come. Okay, so in effect, on 2 days, the A's work is 1 by 9 only, because the second day his work is 0. Similarly, B comes on the second day, but B does not come on the first day. So on the first day, B's work is 0. So in 2 days, B's work remains the same, 1 by 12 only. Got it? Because on the other day it's 0. So only the one of the work is counted. So instead of taking A plus B's work on 1 day, we take it as A plus B's 2 days work. That is 1 by 9 plus 1 by 12 is equal to 7 by 36. Correct. Now, if they continue like this for 5 days, okay, 5 pairs of days, work done in 5 pairs of days is equal to how much? 5 into 7 by 36 is equal to 35 by 36. Why did I take 5? Now you understood. Correct. Because if I had taken 6 here, then the value would be above 36. So it would be overwork. We do not want that. We have to find how much time does it take to finish this work. Correct. So we will take the closest value, that is less than 36. So 7 into 5 is 35. Clear. So this much work is completed in 5 pairs of days. 35 by 36 work. So what is the remaining work? Remaining work is 1 minus 35 by 36 is equal to 1 by 36. Correct. So on the first day, A works. Second day, B works. Third day, A works. Fourth day, B works. So on all the odd days, A works. And on all the even days, B works. Alright. So after 5 pairs of days, that means 10 days, this much work is completed. So on the 11th day, who is working? A is working. It's an odd day, correct? So A is working on the 11th day. So this remaining work, that is 1 by 36, is gonna be done by A. How long does it take to finish this work by A? That is the question. How long would it take for A to finish 1 by 36th of the work? That is what we are going to find out now. So it's A's turn now. Therefore, 1 by 9 work is done by A in 1 day. Correct? A's 1 day's work is how much? 1 by 9. It's given in the question. A alone can finish the work in 9 days. So A's 1 day's work is 1 by 9. Therefore, 1 by 36th of the work is done by A in how much time? How much time? 1 by 36 divided by, so into 9. Alright, so this is equal to 1 by 4 days. Division means into the reciprocal multiplication. Okay, I have repeatedly said that again and again. So 1 by 9th of the work is done by A in 1 day. So 1 by 36 is done in how much time? It is 1 by 36 into 9 is equal to 1 by 4 days. Correct? That means 0.25 days, quarter days. Correct? So how much time does it take for the total work to be completed? Here it took 5 pairs of days, that is 10 days plus this 1 by 4 days. So 10 plus 0.25 is equal to 10.25. Correct answer is option A. Did you understand this? Isn't this very simple actually once you know how to do this? Okay, I am doing only, every question that we are doing is of a different type. Okay, so by knowing how to do these questions, you will be able to solve as many as possible. But you have to do more questions so that this will, be fixed in your brain. Otherwise, you might think that you know how to do this, but during the examination time, you would get blocked. Okay, at some point, you will get stuck and will not know how to proceed. So in order to prevent that from happening, please do as many questions as possible. Okay, I hope there are no doubts so far. That is why I am moving on. There is nothing in the chat either. So now we are moving into the next question. 45 men can complete a work in 16 days. Okay, 45 men can complete a piece of work in 16 days. Fine. 6 days after they started working, 30 more men joined them. Okay, so 6 days went by. They are working. After 6 days, 30 more men joined the work. Clear? What does that mean? It means that for the last 10 days, okay, 16 minus 6, for the last 10 days, there are 75 men, 45 plus 30 men working together. So the question is, how many days will they now take to complete the remaining work? That is the question. How would you find this out? First of all, we have to find how much work is done by 45 men in 6 days. Then subtract that from 1 so that we will get how much work is remaining. Correct? Then we have to find how much work is done by 75 men in 1 day and how much time does it take for 75 men to finish the remaining work. That is the answer. Got it? So let's do it one by one. 45 men can complete a work in 16 days. Correct? So how much work or how many men can complete this in 1 day? Since 45 men take 16 days to complete, 45 into 16 men can complete the work in 1 day. Think about it. 45 men takes 16 days to complete. Correct? So 45 into 16 men can complete the work in one day. Isn't that correct? Think about it. Correct, na? Say if there are 16 days, okay, day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way up to day 16, and here 45 men are allotted. So it takes 45, if only 45 men are there, it will take them, 16 days to finish. But if we allot again more and more men for each, day, then together 45 plus 45 plus 45 plus 45 plus 45 all and 16 times 45. That many men can finish the whole work in one day. Correct? So that is why I have written like this. Therefore, one man's 1 day's work is equal to how much? 1 divided by 45 into 16. What is 45 into 16? 45 into 2 is 90. 90 into 8 is 720. So this is equal to 1 by 720. Alright, now 45 men can complete their work in 16 days. 6 days after they started working. So they worked for 6 days. So how much work is completed in 6 days? 45 men's 6 days work is equal to how much is this? 1 by 16 into 6 is equal to 3 by 8. Correct, or did you understand this one? 45 men can complete their work in 16 days, correct? So 1 day's their work in 1 day is 1 by 16. So they worked for 6 days. So it is 1 by 16 into 6. That is 3 by 8 of the work has been completed. Correct? So what is the remaining work? Remaining work is equal to how much? 5 by 8. 1 minus 3 by 8. That is 5 by 8. Clear? That much very clear? Now, 75 men. Okay, after that what happens? After 6 days after they started working, 30 more men joined them. So now the total number of men is 45 already working men plus the 30 newcomers. That is 75 men. So 75 men's 1 day's work is equal to how much? 75 by 720. Correct? Think about it. One man's, that is why we did this. We found one man's 1 day's work. One man's 1 day's work is equal to 1 by 720. Therefore, 75 men's 1 day's work is 75 into 1 by 720. That is 75 by 720. This is equal to, I think we can cancel this out. 75 we can cancel with 3. So 1 by 35. 5 goes, and then again we can cancel it. So it is 5, 8 and 4. So it is 5 by 48. I think so. Okay. If there are any errors, please let me know. I think it is 5 by 48. 75 divided by 720. So 75 men's 1 day's work is 5 by 48. Which means 5 by 48 of the work is done by them in 1 day. Correct? So 5 by 8 of the work is done by them in how many days? That is a question, correct? Remaining work is 5 by 8. So 5 by 48 of the work is done by them in 1 day. So 5 by 8 of the work is done by them in how many days? Multiply by 6. So it is 48 divided by 5 into 5 by 8 is equal to 6 days. Correct? Did you understand this? I hope so. Alright, so this is how you approach these kinds of questions. Get it? If there are any questions or any doubts, feel free to ask them. I can explain any number of times. Okay, so let's continue to the next question. A and B undertake to do a piece of work in 600 for 600 rupees. A alone can do it in 6 days, while B alone can do it in 8 days. With the help of C, they finish the work in 3 days. Find the share of each. So A and B says, they can complete the piece of work for 600 rupees. Give us 600 rupees and we will together finish the work. Okay, so A alone, if A alone is working, it will take him 6 days to finish. If B alone is working, it will take him 8 days to finish. But with the help of C, together, all of them together, A, B and C together, finish the work in 3 days. So how much of this amount goes to A, B and C? That is the question. Alright, so let's start. A and B's 1 day's work is equal to how much? A can finish it in 6 days, B can finish it in 8 days. Therefore, 1 by 6 plus 1 by 8 is equal to, what is LCM? 48, I think, no, 24. 24. So, 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 by 24. Correct? Now, C is also coming in. Correct? With the help of C, they finished the work in 3 days. Therefore, C's 1 day's work is equal to how much? Together, they finished this in 3 days. So 1 by 3 minus A's and B's 1 day's work. That is 7 by 24. Okay, so this is equal to, again, LCM is 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 8 minus 7 by 24 is 1 by 24. So C's 1 day's work is 1 by 24. Did you understand how I got that? A plus B plus C together finishes the work in 3 days. Okay, so A plus B plus C's 1 day's work is 1 by 3. So that minus A plus B's 1 day's work, that is 7 by 24, will give you 1 by C, or C's 1 day's work. Okay, so that is 1 by 24. Clear? So A is to B is to C. That is the ratio of their work is how much? 1 by 6 is to 1 by 8 is to 1 by 24. Correct? And this is equal to 4 is to 3 is to 1. A's work is 1 by 6, B's work is 1 by 8, C's work is 1 by 24. So A is the most efficient one here. So that is why the ratio, reciprocates. A gets a bigger value. 4 is to 3 is to 1. 6 is to 8 is to 24. So that is 4 is to 3 is to 1. Clear? So what share goes to A? 4 out of 8 parts of 600 goes to A. Correct? So A's share is equal to 600 into 4 divided by 8. Correct? 4 plus 3, 7 plus 1, 8. So total there are 8 parts. Out of that, 4 parts goes to A. So A's share is 600 into 4 by 8. That is 300. Similarly, B's share is equal to how much? 3 parts. Correct? 600 into 3 by 8. That is how much? 600 into 3 by 8. 600 into 8 goes 4, 300, 150, and 2 and 75 into 3. That is 225. Okay? And therefore, C's share is equal to whatever is remaining. 600 minus 300 plus 225. 300 plus 225 is 525. 600 minus that is 75. Understood? Did you understand how to do this question? I hope so. So the correct answer here is option C, rupees 75. If you need me to explain again, let me know. Moving on. Okay, we have only 2 more questions, I think. Okay, 3 questions remaining. 2 men and 3 boys can do a piece of work in 10 days, while 3 men and 2 boys can do the same work in 8 days. Okay, so these kinds of questions are also often there in the examinations, especially in bank exam and all. These kinds of questions are very, very prevalent. There they will give you, 10 men and 20 women can do a piece of work in X days, and 6 men and 15 women can, 6 men and 15 women can do a piece of work in this many days. So how much day will it take for 100 men and 100 women to finish the work? Okay, these kinds of questions are very, very, very common. So please have an understanding on how to do this. Let's read the question once again. 2 men and 3 boys can do a piece of work in 10 days. Okay, so there are two variables here, men and boys. Clear? So let's use capital M for men and capital B for boys. Okay, so let one man's 1 day work be M. Clear? There, similarly, one boy's 1 day's work is equal to B. Got it? Therefore, according to the question, 2 men and 3 boys can finish the work in 10 days. So 1 by 10. Correct? 2m plus 3b is equal to reciprocal of 10. So they will finish the piece of work in 10 days. So their 1 day's work is denoted by 1 by 10. Correct? One man's 1 day's work is M. One boy's 1 day's work is B. Therefore, together, one man and one boy working together, they will do how much work? 1 by 10. They can finish the work in 10 days. So it is 1 by 10 done in 1 day. Correct? Now, let's see the second part of this question. While 3 men and 2 boys can do the same work in 8 days. So using the same form, ideology, 3 men and 2 boys can do the same work in 8 days. Now, there are two equations, two linear equations of first degree. There are two variables. So, solve for M and B. Correct? So, how to solve for M and B? Let's multiply this one with 3. Okay, this equation with 3 and this equation with 2. Therefore, we can eliminate M and find the value for B. Okay, so it will become 6M plus 3B is equal to 3 by 10. Sorry, 6M plus 9B is equal to 3 by 10. And the second one will become 6M plus 4B is equal to 1 by 4. Okay, 2 by 8, that is 1 by 4. Correct? Now, simply subtract. Clear? So, 6M minus 6M, 0. Plus 9B minus 4B, 5B is equal to 3 by 10 minus 1 by 4. 3 by 10 minus 1 by 4. Correct? Therefore, 5B is equal to how much? 3 by 10 minus 1 by 4. So, the LCM is 20. 20 divided by, 6 minus 20 divided by 4, 5 is equal to 1 by 20. Therefore, B is equal to 1 by 100. So, value of B is 1 by 100. What is B? 1 boy's 1 day's work. So, 1 boy's 1 day's work is 1 by 100. Therefore, what is the value for M? Simply substitute the value for B in one of these equations and find the value of M. Okay. So, let's substitute here. I'm not going to write that. I'm going to do that mentally. You can do it in your own time. Okay. So, if we substitute the value for B in this second equation, 2 into B. So, 2 into 1 by 100 is 1 by 50. So, 3M is equal to 1 by 8 minus 1 by 50. Correct? So, the LCM 420, 64, 200 would be the LCM. So, the value for M would be 7 by 200. Okay, therefore M is equal to 7 by 200. I did it mentally. You can do this in a piece of paper. I am not writing it here because this slide is already filled. Okay, I don't want to congest it even more. That is why I did that in my mind. So when we get the value for B, simply substitute this value in one of these equations and find the value for M. That's all. Okay, I think it is M is equal to 7 by 200. If I made a mistake, please let me know. Okay, so we found the value for a man's 1 day's work and a boy's 1 day's work. Question is asking, in how many days can 2 men and 1 boy do the work? So, 2 men plus 1 boy is equal to how much? 2 into 7 by 200 plus 1 by 100 is equal to this 2 and this 2 cancel. So, 7 by 100 plus 1 by 100 is equal to 8 by 100 is equal to 2 by 25. Correct? This is equal to, implies 25 by 2 days. I know that you can't see when I write here, but 2 by 25 is the work done by 2 men and 1 boy in 1 day. Therefore, how many days will it take them to complete the work? The reciprocal of that. So it is 25 by 2 days, and that is 12 and a half days. So correct answer is option B. Okay, moving on. Penultimate question for the day. What's the time? It's 2:50. Okay, we will finish by 3. Don't worry. 3 men, 4 women, and 6 children. Okay, instead of just 2 variables, we are adding one more here. So 3 men, 4 women, and 6 children can do a piece of work in 7 days. A woman does double the work of a man and does a woman does double the work of a man does, and a child does half the work a man does. How many women alone can complete this work in 7 days? That is the question. Okay, so here we do not have to take 3 variables. Why? Because the relationship between these variables are given. Relationship between man, woman, and children are given. Look at the second statement. A woman does double the work of a man. So if we take the work of a man as X, then the woman's work will be 2 into X. Similarly, a child does half the work of a man, which means the child's work will be X by 2. Got it? So because that relationship is there, we do not have to go for 3 variables. Instead, we can do it with 1 variable itself. Okay, so let's say, let woman's 1 day's work is equal to X. Therefore, 1 man's 1 day's work is equal to how much? X by 2. Therefore, 1 child's 1 day's work is equal to X by 4. Correct? From that second statement, I got this relationship. Clear? Now let's see the question again. 3 men, 4 women, and 6 children together completes the work in 7 days. Therefore, 3 men, so 3 into X by 2, plus 4 women, 4 into X, plus 6 children, so 6 into X by 4. So their 1 day, they will complete the work in 7 days. So their 1 day's work is how much? 1 by 7. Now, from this, we can very easily solve for X, correct? So therefore, here we can cancel this and we can write it as 3 and 2. So the LCM is 2 only. So 3x plus 8x plus 3x is equal to 2 by 7. Okay, so 3 plus 8, 11 plus 3, 14x. Implies x is equal to 2 by 7 into 14. So this is equal to 1 by 49. Value for x is 1 by 49. Okay, so 1 woman alone completes the work in 49 days. Okay, x is woman, correct? Let 1 woman's 1 day's work is x. Okay, so this means x, the value of x is equal to 1 by 49 means 1 woman can alone do the work in 49 days. Reciprocal. All right. Therefore, to complete the work in 7 days, that is the question, right? Question is asking how many women alone can complete this work in 7 days. So 1 woman can complete the work in 49 days. So to complete the work in 7 days, it will take 49 divided by 7 is equal to 7 women. 7 women will take to complete the work in 7 days. So here the correct answer is B. Okay, the unit is again wrong here. It should be 7 women. Did you understand the method in which it's done? In the previous question, we did not get a relationship between the work done by a man and a boy. That is why we had to go for M and B. We solved for two variables M and B and then found the answer. But in this question, we have a relationship between the work done by man, woman and children. Correct? So using that relationship, we have avoided using three variables and we did it with one variable. Got it? Final question for the day. 10 men and 15 women together can complete a work in 6 days. It takes 100 days for one man alone to complete the same work. How many days will it require for one woman alone to complete the same work? Difficult or easy? Actually very easy. Think about it. 10 men and 15 women together can complete a piece of work in 6 days. So 10 men plus 15 women. Okay, their 1 day's work. How much is this? 1 by 6. Okay. It takes 100 days for one man alone to complete the same work. Therefore, one man's 1 day's work is equal to 1 by 100. Correct? Now, therefore, 15 women's 1 day's work is equal to how much? 10 man plus 15 women can complete the work in 1 by 6 days. So, 15 women alone can complete the work in 1 by 6 minus 10 into 1 by 100. Did you understand this? One man's 1 day's work is 1 by 100. So 10 man's 1 day's work will be 10 into 1 by 100. Okay, so 10 men plus 15 women can finish the work in 1 by 6 days. So 15 women alone could finish the work in 1 by 6 minus 10 men's 1 day's work. That is 10 into 1 by 100. So this is equal to 1 by 6 minus 1 by 10. This is equal to, what is the LCM? 30, correct? So 30 divided by 6, 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 by 30, that is 1 by 15. Got it? Now, one women's 1 day's work. 15 women's 1 day's work is equal to 1 by 15. So one women's 1 day's work is 1 by 15 into 15. That is 1 by 225. Therefore, one woman can finish the work in reciprocal of this, 225 days. So the answer is option D. Did you understand this approach? This is by, if you have understood really well everything that I have explained in today's class, then you can literally solve any questions that come from work and time. Okay, because we have done almost all the types of questions. There are a separate category of questions like, data sufficiency test. Okay, I mean, there will be certain questions where the data will be insufficient and the one of the options would be, we cannot determine the answer using the given data. Such questions will also be there. We will do that later on. But other than that, proper questions, the methodology has been taught today to do all these questions. If you have understood all the 10 questions that we did today, and if you are willing to do more questions and practice this yourself, then you will not have any issues from this topic in your CSAT exam. Okay, so thank you for joining. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel and share this with your friends so that I can get more views, which will help me to get a better audience and other aspirants will be able to easily find my channel. All right, I will upload all the notes in my Telegram channel. The link is shown there. We will meet again at 8 p.m. today with a lecture on environment. Until then, bye-bye.